Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? It's quite a tie.
That was for the sign. Oh, was that tell me? So actually,
Hi, Mary Young, how are you? You too. Happy New Year. Okay.
Hey, Fran, Happy New Year.
Good. Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you so much. Put it on everything away.
Once in a while, there must be
thank you.
use that as a springboard. Doing that as long as they're going to be ready. Fix it up and see what's coming
We've seen each other across.
There's four of them.
I'll go for the crash free. This is my youngest. This is Mr. Brooks.
Yeah.
See you, Rob. Gonna have a good New Year, right?
Yeah, we watched back on the first day I was driving by.
New Year? Uh-oh.
All right. I make a trek over here every once in a while. Always nice to go.
Oh, yeah, you're second time. Well, I broke my wrist.
The first time we got here, we moved our
Hi, good evening. I'd like to call the Township Reorganization Meeting to order. My name is LaShawn Barber, and I'm your Township Clerk. Will everyone please stand for the flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to do the roll call. Mr. Barton.
Present.
Ms. Brown. Here. Mr. Franzen.
Here.
Mr. Lee. And Mr. Yates.
Here.
Thank you. Sunshine notice. This meeting is called pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of January the 2nd, 2015 was sent to the Central Record, Burlington County Times, and Courier Post, posted on the bulletin board in Town Hall, and has remained continuously posted as required notices under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public, and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Welcome, everyone. Ready to begin? I'd like to call Mayor James Young of Southampton Township to administer the oath of office to his daughter, Kimberly Brown. Family members, come and join. Squeeze in.
Leave something over here. I state your name.
I, Kimberly Brown,
You solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
the Constitution of the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and the government established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully, impartially,
and justly perform all duties of the office of Township Committee, according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Good thing everyone put your phone in. Sorry.
Congratulations, Kim.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the nominations for mayor.
I think it was already done.
I would like to nominate Committeewoman Kimberly A. Brown.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Nominations closed. We have roll call. Mr. Barton.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Franson.
Yes.
Mr. Yates.
Yes.
Thank you. And can we have nominations for deputy mayor?
I'd like to nominate Rick Franson.
Second?
Nominations closed. Thank you. Roll call. Mr. Barton.
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Franson.
Yeah, I think I will.
And Mr. Yates.
Yes.
Thank you. Can we have the oath of office again? We're going to do the oath of office for the mayor. And that'll be Kimberly Brown and Kimberly Brown's entourage.
I, state your name,
I, Kimberly A. Brown,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties
of the office of mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities. So help me God.
Okay, the family members of Rick Franson, can you come up front and join for the oath of office for deputy mayor?
Jim, you got this down pat now?
I state your name,
I, Richard Franson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of New
and
Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United
and
States
in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
justly perform
and justly perform
all duties
all duties
of the office of deputy mayor
of the office of Deputy Mayor
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Okay, it is my pleasure to turn it back over to you. Please use it to open the meeting, close the meeting, and keep the meeting order.
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-1, Committee Bylaws?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Thank you. Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franson?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-2, Temporary Appropriations?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franson?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion to award a contract for professional services for Township Attorney. A motion and a nomination, please.
I'd like to nominate Peter Lang.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Thank you. Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Lang, come up and sit with us, please.
Thank the committee again for an opportunity to serve. It's my pleasure and it's much appreciated. I appreciate the confidence that you exhibited in me by giving me yet another opportunity to serve. Thank you.
I'd like to acknowledge that Congressman-elect Tom MacArthur is here this evening with us. Thank you for coming to our meeting.
My pleasure.
Could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-4, appointment of official newspaper? Can I have a motion in the...
So moved.
That's the
Barton? Okay.
Central Record, Burlington County Townsend Courier.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-5, the Sunshine Notice, which is our meeting dates?
So moved.
Franzen?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-6, interest on taxes?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-7, the investment of funds, which could be any New Jersey bank or credit union.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-8, depository of funds. Can I have a motion to name the bank, please?
Motion for Investors Bank.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Question for Mr. Lang. Investors Bank, company I work for, we do a lot of work for them. Am I still allowed to?
You don't work for them?
No. I personally don't, but the company I work for does.
But it's a general contract. They do billing for the bank and so forth?
Correct.
Well, I think out of an abundance of caution, you may want to disqualify yourself from the vote.
Okay. That's why I raised the question.
So you'll abstain?
I abstain.
Thank you. Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-9, authorization to adopt the cash management plan.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-10 and please state the name of the engineer, award of contract for professional services for Township engineer?
I'd like to make a motion for Alino Engineering.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-11, award of contract services Professional Services for Township Auditor, please nominate and make the motion.
I'll nominate Holman and Frenier, PC.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-12, Assessor Appeals.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-13, appointing environmental consultant. Please make a nomination.
I'll nominate Stewart Environmental Associates.
Second.
Okay. You got it.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-14, appointment of the Township Prosecutor. Can I please have a name along with that nomination?
Make a motion for Dasty, Murphy, McGuckin, Bill K, Casares, and Connors.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-14A, appointment of an alternate prosecutor? I believe we use any Burlington County prosecutor. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make it.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-15, the Public Defender. Can I have a motion and a nomination, please?
I'd like to nominate Robert Prisco.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-16, appointment of Animal Control Services. Please make a nomination to appoint.
I'd like to nominate the Independent Animal Control Services.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-17, approving JIF Risk Management Consultant and Agreement? Please make a nomination.
I'd like to nominate Haynes and Haynes TC Iron.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-18, appointing Fund Commissioner and alternate Fund Commissioner. The appointment would be Douglas Kramer as the Fund Commissioner and LaShawn Barber as the alternate Fund Commissioner. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-19, appointment of Municipal Alliance Coordinator, which is Alfred Gruber. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-20, appointment of a public agency compliance officer, which is Douglas Kramer. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-21, appointment of a site plan engineer for professional services. Can I have a nomination, please?
I'd like to make a motion for Dante Guzzi.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-22, appointment of architect of record. Can I have a nomination along with the motion, please?
I'll nominate Rye Bread out of Mount Holly.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to adopt Resolution 2015-23, approving the recycling tonnage grant. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-24, appointment of bond counsel? Can I have a motion and a nomination, please?
I'd like to nominate Cathcart Sketcher. Is that right?
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to appoint municipal improvement search officer for a term ending 12/31/15, which is Michelle Barber. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion for an appointment of municipal tax search officer for a term ending 12/31/15, which is Susan Costalis?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to appoint the zoning officer for a term ending 12/31/15, which is Robert Perry?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion for the appointment of Board of Health Secretary for term ending 12/31/15, which is LaShawn Barber?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the following appointments to the Recreation Committee? Mark Lemire.
Can do it both together or separate?
I don't see any reason why we can't do both together. One's by statute. Mark Lemire, and his term would end. Do you have that there? It's a 3 year, isn't it? So it would be 17. It's a 3-year appointment, correct?
Yes.
So it would be 12/31/17. And Lynn Hedden, which is a 1-year appointment. She's the TAA president. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the following are mayor's appointments. To the Class 1 position on the Land Development Board, term ending 12/31/15, Jim Ebersberger. Douglas Kramer, Class 2, term ending 12/31/15. Class 3, Joseph Barton, term ending 12/31/15. Denise Stevens, Class 4, term ending 12/31/18. Mark Lemire, Class 4, for the unexpired term ending 12/31/17. and John Sandman for alternate 2, term ending 12/31/16. Okay. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the Tabernacle Township reorganization meeting, and our workshop meeting will follow. Have a motion, please?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call. All in favor? Roll call.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.
We're just going to take a couple minutes and we're going to go into our workshop meeting next.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Everything all right? Gonna be a good year?
I feel bad for having to go in and say, still be third services.
When they're done, I can it's right on profile.
Yeah, exactly. Season pie, yeah, she'll want better.
Central used to have a sound
Yeah, it's not somebody physically. Yeah, it does. Realize how I see it. Just a one Well, that's the other side. But there is a whole pattern. Take care.
Thank you.
And the fact is, off the record, off the record, that's how it should. I know. Like your congratulations.
All right, if everyone's ready, we're going to roll into our continuation of our meeting, the workshop portion.
Joe just went to the men's room.
May I let me know when you're ready to turn it on? Oh, wait, so it's ready.
Quite a while. Yes.
This one, I can go off with this.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, yeah.
Now, Joe made it here. I don't want to exclude you all. Don't go anywhere, Joe.
They don't have to wait on me.
We tried to tell her that.
They need to stay on me. That's what I always tell them.
Another one? I haven't been home since I was 12. Ready?
Okay, we'll call the workshop portion of our meeting to order. Lights, Luke, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is called pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of January the 2nd, 2015 was sent to the Central Record, Burlington County Times, and Courier Post, posted on the bulletin board in Town Hall, and has remained continuously posted as required notice under statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Okay, roll call. Mr. Barton.
Present.
Mr. Franson.
Here.
Mr. Lee. Mr. Yates.
Here.
Mayor Brown.
Here.
Thank you.
This time I'll open the floor for public comment on agenda items only. The only exception is ordinances. The discussion will be held during public hearing for the first, since this is our first reading. Is there any public comment? Yes, sir. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
William Lowe, 24 Hidden Acres Drive, the Emergency Management Coordinator. I have a comment and a question and a request in reference to Resolution 2015-26. I absolutely support the whole concept of LoSAP and think that's exactly what we should do. However, I think that the resolution was taken in consideration of what was previously there, and previously the fire district had the authority to set up the contract to do the LoSAP. And there were only municipality, the only one government agency in a municipality could do that. We now have the township overseeing the fire service, emergency services to include LoSAP. And I would like you to consider expanding that from the fire company to include the CERT and emergency management. While that does not include me, because I'm a salaried employee, it does include my 2 deputies, and it potentially includes the 100 and some people in the CERT. Now, I understand it's entirely changed the whole concept of the CERT a little bit, because they would actually have to vote to accept LoSAP. They would have to agree to turn out so many times, which they don't do now. There's no minimum that you have to do to stay active in the CERT. On the other hand, if we turned around and we had them vote to belong to it, and then had each one of them sign some kind of a contract that said they would be there for so many call-ups and so many mobilizations, so many training sessions, then those people would be eligible if in fact they fulfilled that contract. So I'd like you to think about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comment?
Stuart Brooks, Moore's Meadow Road. Good evening and happy, healthy New Year to all of you. I have some questions on the bill list. In the fourth one down, there's an entry for the lawyer's diary and manual. Is that a hard copy publication or is that an online version?
Hard copy. It was hard copy.
And the second question I have on that is how often do you use that? And I know what the lawyer's diary is. I've been using it for years. And I know that with the growth of information online, there's so much information online that every office I've worked with has reduced the number or eliminated getting the lawyer's diary entirely. It's a pretty pricey book. The information is available elsewhere. How much do you use it?
I don't use it at all in municipal court.
She said it's for the municipal court.
Okay. Towards the bottom of the page, there's an entry for Tabernacle Fire Company number 1, Supplemental Fire Services Grant for 2006-26. Could someone explain what that grant's about, please?
That's the annual grant that comes from the state and mixed in with our funding. Before it used to go to the district, now it will go to the fire company.
Okay, thank you. And the next to the last bill for $84.75, Wilson Web Services, 1099 interest in miscellaneous. What is that?
They're the blank forms that we have to send out for 1099 vendors.
Wilson's a vendor?
No, we paid them, they did the forms with the blank forms.
I see, thank you. And I also have a question on LoSAP. What's the amount being paid for 2015, and is it different from the amount being paid for, the amount that was paid for 2014?
The district has not given us the final totals on 2014. That is paid in 2015, so the bill that comes due in 15 is actually for 14. And we will not know what 15's is until we get an estimate later on in the year.
When the amount of LoSAP is determined and the number of people who have served is tallied, is that done on a monthly basis or some other basis? And Doug, I know you're the administrator. Do you receive some sort of report on it?
I have not received any reports as of yet. I'm working with Mrs. Freeman on finishing up last year's. There is a monthly account, at least that I've been made aware of, but it's not turned in, I don't believe, until the end of the year.
will we just pass the end of the year for the month?
And I'm waiting for Mrs. Freeman to give me those final numbers.
Okay. As this program moves forward, will you be getting a monthly form or statement from, I guess, the chief, fire chief?
I'm assuming I will get numbers for that, but that's not to turn into LoSAP, but that's where I'm at right this minute. I don't have enough background in it right now to make that, to answer your question. I will probably know, but I don't know.
Do you know enough to know if you're going to be getting a report on a monthly basis or some other basis?
I'm not sure exactly how I'll be getting it at this point in time. I assume monthly, but I will not say that as a definite answer.
Okay, and does that come on a standard form?
I do not know at this time.
That's all. Thank you very much. Actually, if I may ask one more, just to follow up, Doug, when do you expect to know that information? I thought I heard you say next month. I'm not sure if I heard that, though.
I think what he was saying is that right now he's been working with Mrs. Freeman. She's been helping to close out the year for last year and guiding him so he has a good understanding for this year. So they're working together to bring it to a conclusion for the district because it was the easiest method to go forward. And she's guiding him, giving him some of her expertise to help him in the future.
We're working with Lincoln Financial on making a smooth transition, but I don't have all the answers as of yet.
It was easier to go with someone that had.
Since it's the second, I don't have all the answers quite yet.
Understood. Okay, thank you both.
Any other public comment? Yes?
Good evening and happy New Year to everybody, and have a peaceful and healthy New Year. Fran Brooks, Moore's Middle Road. Just regarding LoSAP, is the amount that the township pays into LoSAP the same as the amount that the district paid?
As of right now, the contribution, I believe, will stay the same. The only difference is the cost of living adjustment is slightly different for municipalities versus districts.
Okay, so
Long term, it's not any difference, but on a year-to-year basis, it's a difference because of the calendar year difference,
and is that's determined by DCA?
along with Lincoln Financial with a combination of both, yeah, according to the federal requirements.
Okay, thank you. As far as the, regarding the lawyer's diary and manual, since the township committee doesn't use it, who regarding municipal court uses it?
Can I answer that? Oftentimes, a municipality will provide a copy of the lawyer's diary for the benefit of the judge and the court staff. The reason is that it's an updated listing of all licensed attorneys in the state. So if there is a reason to have to look somebody up or contact, appreciate the comments indicating that most people are on the web, I understand that, but it's provided for the staff and the judge to have access to all of the county prosecutors' numbers, the township prosecutors, and the like. And that's my understanding as to what it's used for.
Is there any reason why municipal, which fund does this come, or line item does this come out of? Is it used to buy, does it come out of court fees, or does it come out of township, the general fund?
Well, the court fees go into the general fund, right?
Yeah.
So is there a difference?
That's a court line item, isn't it? Court line item.
So it's in the municipal court budget, right?
Yes.
I see, but it shows up as a fee on our,
We pay
yeah,
for this.
we pay them, okay. The other thing, just to clarify what this fire service grant is for, I realize it comes from the state, but what specifically, why are we receiving the grant?
We receive it every year as part of the total package. State aid package.
Total state aid package.
And it's earmarked for fire district or fire company.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Any other public comments on agenda items? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Can I have a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Thank you. Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
First reading, ordinance number 2015-1, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. Public hearing will be held January 26, 2015 at 8 p.m. Could I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. First reading for ordinance number 2015-2, an ordinance amending chapter 17 of the zoning of the code of the Township of Tabernacle, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, to identify the area of Medford Farms and Medford Park. Public hearing date, January 26, 2015 at 8 p.m. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Thank you.
First reading, ordinance number 2015-3, a bond ordinance authorizing the acquisition of a pumper truck for the Township of Tabernacle, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, appropriating the sum of $700,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds or anticipation notes of the Township of Tabernacle, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, in the aggregate principal amount of up to $592,000, making certain determinations and covenants, and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing. Public hearing date, January 26, 2015 at 8 p.m. Could I have a motion, please?
Make the motion.
Second?
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Resolution 2015-25, extending tax quarter payment grace period. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make it.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. Resolution 2015-26, authorizing the continuation of LoSAP. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make it.
Second?
Any questions or comments?
Yes. Mr. Lowe brought up a very good point, and I would really like to, in some way, bring them into this, because they are also emergency volunteers.
It's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, to include anybody else into it, we have to go out to public referendum.
Really?
Am I wrong?
That's my direction from DCA as of right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's something we can discuss as we go, and if you continue to feel, if it works out that that's where you want to go and it's available, then it's something that we would consider getting it to the county so it could be on the November ballot.
And we could also explore with the DCA the potential for expanding it without a referendum. I don't think the DCA has a lot of experience in these matters as far as continuation of LoSAP. I have some questions about the statutory language, the enabling legislation, and it may or may not require it. I would like to develop that if the township wants to move in that direction.
Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
Mr. Franzen?
Yes.
Mr. Yates?
Yes.
Mayor Brown?
Yes. This time, I'm going to open the floor for public comment. If you have public comment, raise your hand. And upon you come forward, please state your name and address for the record.
Stuart Brooks, Morris Meadow Road. A follow-up question. similar to the question I asked regarding LoSAP. I think Doug, this will be one of yours. Other than LoSAP, is the fire chief providing other standardized reports to you, or planning to do that?
One of the things, can you just put this up? If you could give us kind of the questions you have, then Mr. Creamer can address every single question at one shot when he does his report, if you don't mind. It would be so much easier, and then we wouldn't be pushing buttons, stopping clocks. I think that would be more efficient time-wise, and it would help have a straight answer all at once.
Well, I'm happy to oblige, but depending on what answer comes back, that might
Well,
raise new questions. What I'm trying to find out is what types of reports are going to be prepared by the fire chief and given to Doug in his role both as LoSAP administrator and administrator of the contract that the township has with the fire company. And I guess that would mean, what are those standard reports? When are they going to be delivered? And depending on what he says, and once you have questions. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Are there any certain reports you're looking for? It's obvious, I mean, you brought the question up. So, to me, there is reports that you're looking for.
Well, I don't want, you guys have studied the issue for a long time, and this has been on the table for a long time. I would think the question would be to you, what reports are you expecting to be provided? And I don't necessarily mean that what reports is the committee expecting to get, what reports are you expecting your administrator to get? This is all part of the larger question. What's the plan for fire services in Tabernacle? How's it going to be provided? How's it going to be monitored? And that's a question that's been asked a lot of different ways for a long time. And that's the background for it. I'm not looking to say any particular reports. I want to know, what's your plan? What are you asking for? What are you expecting to get? What's he going to be providing? When's he going to be providing it?
Mr. Kramer will respond to that question in his report to the best of his ability. Do you have any other questions for Mr. Kramer at this time?
I haven't heard the answer to that question.
You'll get the answer when he provides his report. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us at this time?
Is this going to be the standard approach for the township committee to address questions and comments?
That's where we're going this year, because last year it was pointed out that it was very disruptive to the audience by us turning the clock on and off when it comes to questions and answers. We're trying to make it so it's not distracting, so we're trying to answer the questions as they come forward. When we do our reports, we'll be happy to answer any questions that we can at that time. If it's something that needs to be looked into, we'll look into it, and it may require getting back to you at a later date.
Last year, when I asked questions about the wash bay, and I asked many questions about the wash bay over a long period of time, and I think it took more than a year to get answers. What time frame do you anticipate under this new process? Are you going to be prompt and responsive?
Well, my anticipation is that it can be answered when the committee does their reports. We'll answer it then. If it's something that requires a little bit more looking into, it'll be the next meeting, or you can stop in during the meeting to see if there's an answer.
All right. Since there's no answer now to that question, is it fair to me for me to assume that it hasn't been worked out what reports are going to be provided? Hasn't yet been worked out?
You can assume anything you'd like.
Can I reasonably assume that? Is that what one would infer from the lack of the ability for Mr. Kramer or the committee to answer the question now? Do you know now?
As I said, when we do our reports, we'll be happy to give you all the information we have on that subject. We want to answer all the questions you have at one shot.
Okay. Not to prolong this unnecessarily, but what you said just caused me to rethink what you said before. Meaning when Mr. Kramer gives his report tonight, if he knows the answer, he'll provide it tonight?
He will give you the extent of what he has available tonight.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other public comment? Yes.
Sandy Lightmore, Summit Drive. I just want to say that Tabernacle is a really great place to live. And I've known most of you for a very long time. We've been here 42 years. I know your heart. I know that you're here serving because you believe in Tabernacle. You want it to be the best place to live. And I know that we have some things we need to work on to make it even better. I feel that the best way that we can help you is to give you positive support, not point fingers or insinuate that something's sneaky going on. The negativity at some of the meetings is just a real problem. And I'm hoping that we as residents can support you and give you positive reinforcement. And I thank you for all that you do. I know that you just aren't here once or twice a month sitting behind that desk. I know that you work hard for us, and I appreciate it, and I know most of the residents do also. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Ralph Strom, 12 Hidden Acres Drive. First, I agree with everything she just said. The other thing is I want to thank all of you for your service. I too know that this is not an easy job. And mayor's a two-edged sword sometimes, but I know you'll handle it very well. But I also want to do something I never do, and I always regret myself, and that is really give confidence to the staff here. I'm going to say 2/3 to 3/4 of the towns in this county are population 10,000 or less, and they usually operate with a staff of 4 or 5 people. And here we have folks like Doug Kramer and LaShawn. If I have a question and I call Doug, I get a call back, and he tells me what the deal is. LaShawn has been, I don't know how long you've been here, but you've been phenomenal. And I gotta tell this story. You also do the dog licenses. Yeah. You sent me a renewal a few years ago. I sent it back to you with a note, the dog died, thank you very much. She sent me a sympathy card. And that's not going to happen in New York City. I mean, and it tells you something about the nature of the people in this town and what have you. I've got a new neighbor, and I know I'm running out my time. I've got a new neighbor, they got little kids, and I'm like, why are you here? They moved up from Camden County. It's schools. It's recreation, it's the neighborhood, and that says volumes about what we do here. So thank you.
You're right on target with the staff. I think we appreciate them too. They really do work hard, and we're very appreciative. I hadn't heard the story about the sympathy card, but it doesn't surprise me at all. It's just time of need.
Yep.
It's a great town, Ralph. You're right. Thank you.
I appreciate her sending a sympathy card, whether it be dog or cat. Fran Brooks, Moore's Meadow Road. I agree. I hope that 2015 is a very positive year for this township. I would like to ask a question about the truck ordinance, since this is the second public comment of on the agenda. Is this the same truck? Are you going to be purchasing the same truck that was recommended by Chief Smith to the fire district, the Rosenbauer truck?
I do not know if it'll be exactly the same, but it's very close.
Okay, and it will be the Rosenbauer truck as opposed to, in contrast to the Pierce?
That's the direction it's heading. But until it's finally bid or bought on through a cooperative, the final decision will not be made until that point.
To the extent there's still an ongoing negotiation, probably is in our interest publicly and to keep the options open.
So it is possible that you will lease the truck? Is there an intention to lease the truck, or you're only going to bond for this truck?
We will bond for the truck, is my, Terry, that's correct.
Is
And
there,
it's either to be purchased through a cooperative or it will be put out to bid.
is there a reason you didn't look into leasing the truck? In contrast to bonding for it. It's possible to do both. And in a lot of cases, it's my understanding that the lease agreements are generally more favorable, financially favorable, than bonding for the truck. So I'm interested in knowing whether any consideration was given to lease for it.
At this point, this ordinance is just giving us the authority to purchase the truck. Whether we bond it or lease it, that is up to us at that point, at that time.
Okay, so then there is an opportunity for you to determine whether you can get something more financially favorable to the residents through a lease purchase agreement in contrast to actually bonding for it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And what is your time frame with regard to delivery of the truck?
That depends on the manufacturer.
Okay, so you haven't squared away the details of...
Manufacturer's times are different lengths of time for when it's put online and when it comes off, so that at this point is undetermined.
Okay. Just in regard to the earlier discussion between the mayor and Mr. Brooks, I'm still a little bit confused about the new process that you're implementing. I actually don't understand it, because the whole purpose of public comment is, at least the second public comment, is to discuss any item of interest to the public. So if questions come up throughout, let's say there's a discussion during the meeting regarding an agenda item that a speaker may not have thought of at the public comment period on agenda items, are you thinking that there won't be an opportunity for a resident to ask that question at the second public comment?
Okay, your time's up, but I'm going to clarify it. There's going to be a second public comment.
Okay?
A public comment is just that, it's a comment. If you have a question, we're willing to take your questions. But what I'm saying is, rather than sit here and go back and forth, I want to have the questions. So say you have a question on the Space Committee. It's better for someone from the Space Committee to answer that than for me to answer it or someone else. The ability of getting your questions up front gives each member of the committee a chance to participate in the comments and the answers to what you asked. So rather than sitting here and pushing buttons, as you pointed out before, you thought I was texting. I wasn't. I was stopping and starting the clock. This way, your full 3 minutes, you get them. No one's going to interrupt you. And at the end, when we go through and do our reports, we're going to take notes and we're going to answer the questions. If we can't answer it, we're going to say, you know what, you asked this question. Unfortunately, we don't have an answer tonight. We'll either get back to you later in the week or it may take us to the next meeting. Okay. But this way, it's not a back and forth. It's a simple, you come up, you have your public comment, we take our notes, and then we answer you when we can.
Okay, so are people committee members being assigned to specific activities?
Well, committee members have specific activities now. Mr. Franzen and Mr. Barton are doing the Space Committee. Mr. Yates does TAA. So now whether or not it's Mr. Yates wants to answer the question, it's entirely up to Mr. Yates or anyone else. But what I'm saying is, everybody has the ability to answer a question if they want to. It's not going to be limited to one person's going to answer all the questions. And it's not going to be a dialogue. It's going to be, you're going to tell us your questions, you're going to make comments, you can say, I don't like the shirt you're wearing, I don't care. But the point is, rather than going back and forth, I find it's going to be a much smoother transition, asking the questions, allowing us to answer them. And then, instead of you trying to understand what we're saying, we can spell it out.
Okay, well, we'll see how this all evolves and, you know, how it develops over time.
And if you want to let us know ahead of time, maybe we'll have an answer. But the best thing is, this is the best way to handle it right now. We don't want to go back and forth and keep pushing and being disruptive to you, plus us up here. You know, we want to focus on the questions and the comments that are coming from the residents.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other public comment? Seeing that, I'm closing public comment. Committee reports. Terry, do you have anything?
I did want to just point out about the ordinance. The $108,000 is actually more than the 5% that were required. Just wanted to point out that that's what we've already received the funds from the fire company as a down payment for that. Just wanted to note that.
So that's the $108,000 that the commission had in the budget as a truck payment. We're using that as a down payment. Okay. Any questions for Terry? Doug, anything?
To answer Mr. Brooks' question, LoSAP, first of all, the LoSAP, I'm assuming that I will get a report probably monthly, but I'm not quite sure whether it'll be monthly or bi-monthly at this point. Any other reports, I'll be working with the fire chief to see what they provided for the district before, see what the committee wants in developing the plan. And I hopefully will have that by the end of January, beginning of February.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that it?
That's it.
Anyone have anything for Doug? Peter?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Anything for Peter? Mr. Barton?
Okay, just wish to congratulate our mayor and deputy mayor. Wish them the best in 2015. And say Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your Friday evening and coming out and having interest in our workshop and township committees meetings. And we look forward to seeing you hopefully twice a month in 2015.
I would just like to reiterate Joe's comment, I'd like to congratulate you and Rick for your appointments. Happy New Year, everybody. And on the township level, Doug and I will be getting together to review exactly what needs to be completed at the snack stand, and he and I will come up with a plan as far as what the volunteers will be able to do and what we may have to do as a township. Okay. We will be doing that in the next few weeks.
All right, thank you.
Our last meeting, Joe, was your last meeting. And at that meeting, I did want to thank you, say that you did a good job, and I understand what you went through, and things went so fast, I think none of us got a chance to say thanks. So I want to acknowledge that, you did a fine job there, and I appreciate what you did. So I wanted to make sure that was on the record. The Space Committee will meet within the next month or so and review our space plan. We think we might have a need to kick it around a little bit and maybe look at some other options. I'm also going to, in the next month or so, meet with the people who set up the Christmas tree lighting, and the township will want to get behind that like it did, and we want to just have kind of a post-mortem and go through what went well, what didn't go so well, and begin some planning for next year. So they are the few things I want to report.
And I too want to thank Joe for his leadership last year, and appreciate everything that you've done. I certainly know how and what you went through. Every year there's always a new challenge. I appreciate that. And one of the things that I want to look into this year, and now's a better time than later, is I want to go through and review our ordinances, because we approve them, we put them in a book, and unless we need to look at them, we don't look at them. So there may be some that are outdated. So I was hoping that maybe Mr. Franz and Mr. Barton would be interested in looking at those. I know it's a very, very big task, because it's a pretty thick book, but I think it would be beneficial to the entire township to do so. And I know you want to stay on and finish your TAA.
Yeah, but I was going to ask you if we could revisit what is that we passed next month.
So,
Sorry, it's hard to hear the discussion.
but he's talking about ordinances, about whether or not we want to look at one that we did last month.
And the committee should, if you're reviewing the ordinances before a recodification, which you may well do, just be mindful of the fact that the dissolution ordinance did repeal those old ordinance provisions as they associated with the fire pump in Medford Farm. So they're in the book, but until there's a recodification, they'll still be in there. So, but they're gone.
So with that, I'd like to wish everyone else a happy new year, and a great 2015, and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
I do. I feel the same way.
Steve, how are you? Happy New Year to you, sir.
I couldn't help myself. Even when my husband doesn't come, that's why
I had another question. Now you did.
I don't know where it is now. You remember that?
There you go. Get him. There he is, right there.
I'll know. Wait, we have a question.
You got a question?
Fred wants to know, are the meals any good?
Yeah, when we have them. They don't, we don't have them every week.
Is it the one that's on the?
Where do you have pork chops?
Yes. They're going to start up probably around Lent. And they're supposed to have fish fry, but I'm not sure if that's the way they're going. Last year in the fall, they picked like, we had a different night. We had 5 Fridays, and one was steak, one was meatloaf, one was...
I remember that in the paper.
Yeah. So, but they haven't, I can't make a decision, even though I'm the president. One makes that decision. I only appeal. But it's, we're figuring around when.
Prior to Good Friday.
When we re-advertise it. See you around.
They were at one, when we sold the house, it was obviously the fire station. And my dad messed with the house.
Yeah, it still is. I mean, extension.
New windows, doors, yards, all beautiful little frames in it. And then we decided, you know what, the other kids coming. Add on to this house. So I took some work a little later.
Yes.
And then my dad had the idea of throwing it over the house. So we put it I couldn't be at for whatever reason. This is that, it's a brand new house. He sold it to the first
I'm on street.
That's the low side.
That's what you do, like sheets.
You know, that's what happens. Show up at town hall, whatever. Gotta give me that card.
Keeps it there as well, because if you don't.
Once you get into it,
Because it went away from the district to the township, and that's a but we've already said we don't want the EMS to do it because they got their own system. But then it has to know what he was thinking. I understand what you're saying.
Well, they don't know. What they know.
What they want to do.
Always do. Let's go.
Every time I say it,
You're not getting I know where he's at. He's right. He's right.
I just wanted to say that. You're done, right? Is it over? Oh.